All right, so I have 2 days to completely transform my wide body Mercedes behind me before I take it to a car show and then to an autocross race. And then at the end of all of that, I'm going to put it up for sale. Yes, I'm wearing a jacket, shorts, and sandals today. It's fall in Alabama, so it was 30 degrees this morning. It could be 100 this afternoon. Who knows what it's gonna do. This is the life I'm living right now. As you can tell, I've done some work since the last time you saw it. The last time you saw it, it looked like this. A few things I've done to get it to this point is prime the whole thing. I've sanded the whole car twice. We're gonna do it a third time before going through and painting it. And I also went in and added some body lines in the fenders. I didn't really feel like the fenders made sense on this car. It was the biggest gripe about the car was the fenders that I made had no body line in the center of them like the rest of the car. And so I went through and cut out some body lines, just made some sections out of the fenders front and rear. And I think the car looks way better, and especially with paint, it's gonna look great. So far, I have primed it and removed everything. You can see the bumpers are gone, the mirrors are gone, the hood or the roof is gone, and the spoiler is off of the back. We're gonna paint this section of the car first. We'll get it done and cured, move it out of the shop, and then we'll move in all of the pieces and paint them as well. I'm not gonna tell you what color. It is gonna be very sick. Now, what show am I talking about? Well, I'm going with a company called AEG, which is a new company, Automotive Enthusiast Group. They've been building this company for the past couple of years, and I've been using their service as well as working with them for the past few months, and it has been really, really great. It saved me a ton of money on car parts, so we will talk about them, but we'll see. You guys will see them later in the video when we take this to Huntsville. That doesn't even seem real. It's 2 days away, and I've got a lot of work to do. So I've primed this thing just with aerosol primer, mainly just for an event that I had to race it at, but it also is acting as kind of a guide coat as I sand. I'm not really filming that because it's just sanding. You guys don't want to watch all that, but what I am going to film is this. I'm not going to copy the door shape completely because I would kind of have to remake that whole section, but I am going to cut a body line in so that at least visually there's a line all the way through the car and through the fenders. I think it's going to make it look way better. All right, these are my guidelines. Now I'm just gonna take that line and basically spread it out to be about 1/4 of an inch thick, maybe 1/8 of an inch thick. I'll show you what I'm talking about because I've already done it over here. So when I'm done, it'll look like this one. So again, obviously not exact in terms of matching the body line on the door, but I think it will make it, it'll make a lot more sense with that line in there. So obviously these are a little bit wobbly from me just cutting them by hand, freehand with the Dremel. What we're gonna do to clean that up is I've got a paint stick here, wrapping some coarse grit sandpaper around it, and I'm gonna use that channel as my guide. It's about the same width. It's actually the exact same width as a paint stick. And we're just going to run this back and forth. And what it's gonna do is it'll soften these really sharp edges, which will be good for painting because paint will want to build up on the sharp edge. So we'll round those edges off. It'll create a very straight line, and it's also going to smooth out this channel inside of here. I think I might end up doing like silicone all the way down. So I have like a black line that starts in the body kit and continues all the way through. I think it'll just look good. I may not though. So I want this to be smooth so that when I do paint it, I can kind of look and decide, yeah, we're gonna run a silicone bead, or now we'll just leave it. And either way, I think it's gonna look much better because now you have separation between the top half and bottom half like you have throughout the rest of the car. So I think it's gonna look really, really cool. All right, just sanding. There we go, body line. Obviously I loaded the primer up in there. We're gonna let that dry out and then we'll sand over that. It looks pretty subtle, which is surprising because it felt so gnarly cutting into that, but I think it's gonna be perfect. All right, so I did quite a bit of sanding on everything, and I feel pretty good about it. I think it's gonna look just fine. And yeah, that's just it. I'm not gonna prime it again. We're gonna paint directly over all these colors, and it makes me a little bit nervous, but that's just what I want to do. Maybe a really bad plan, but I think it's gonna be okay. Let's see. Obviously, I have to take this thing up, but I did strip down a ton of it, so I think that it should go pretty quickly. I'm gonna lift it up off the ground, yank the wheels off, and then we'll start taping it. As soon as it's taped, we should be able to wipe everything down and start spraying. I've got to sand a couple of things in here, which isn't ideal, but it's just, I just forgot. Let's go. All right, here we go. It is now midnight. I've been out here since about 9, just taping and cleaning, and I think that we are ready. One of the things I'm concerned with is the hood. I'm not very tall, so I'm not sure that I'll be able to reach across and get the hood. It may be that I need to lower the car down to do the hood and then raise it back up. I don't know, we'll see. Maybe I can find something to stand on that's stable, but this is always an issue when I'm painting cars, is reaching. Normally it's the roof, but because I've raised this up, it's gonna be the hood. So we'll just cross that bridge when we come to it. If I'm having trouble reaching it, then I'll lower the car down. All right, I think that I am officially ready to paint. I've waited until the next day, so I'm really pushing it for time right here. The car has to be cured by tomorrow, and it takes 8 hours. So, yeah, really pushing for time. Don't have a lot of room for mistakes, which is always great. But I think we'll be okay. I'm pretty sure the car is ready. Right here, I have my color. Naturally, it's a Porsche color, but it's likely one you haven't heard of. I tend to go on websites and look at some PTS colors for Porsche, which is paint to sample, which is like, you can have your 911 painted whatever color you want, basically. And there's a lot of really cool colors, really unique colors, and so I have a list of favorites, and this is up towards the top of that list, but I've never seen it in person, so I wanted to paint a car of this color so I could see it. And that is what it's for. The color is cool. It's a gloss color, which will be more forgiving for errors in bodywork. So that's why we're moving to gloss from metallic. And we're going all over this time, not livery. So the livery hid a lot of crimes. This will not. And so gloss is better. The color, I'll leave my mask off. This is very strong. I think they mixed a gallon. They were only supposed to do 3 quarts. Anyway, the color is called Fjord Green. I'm just kidding, the J's silent. It's Ford Green. Despite the name, they don't paint Fords this color. And if you are grammar police and you're losing your mind right now, I know it's Fjord. It's okay. FJORD green. It's a PTS color. It is gloss. And I don't know what pigments are in this, but it is really expensive. This paint is $300 a quart. $300 a quart, which is just crazy. It is very pretty. Despite not having metallic, it actually flops, meaning it like changes color from green to blue, kind of. So I'm pretty excited to see that. Right here, it looks very green, kind of BRG, British Racing green. A little bit of blue in there, kind of emerald, I guess. I don't know. Now, I didn't pay $300 a quart for it because I got this mixed at O'Reilly's with my AEG discount. And so I ended up paying less than that. I ended up paying $350 for 3 quarts, which is pretty good. But from my normal paint store, it would have been $900 for this. So $350 is better than $900. Huge shout out to AEG for saving me loads of money all the time. The battery in this car is from AEG as well, and I saved $100 on that. So overall savings thus far with this project, $700. This is crazy for $7 a month. Okay, so let me show you this color because I don't think you guys can actually see it. There you go. Now it looks a little more blue on camera than in person, which is what I heard on the internet, which is why I wanted to use it. All right, so we're going to set this up. I'll get some shots of spraying. I don't like filming while spraying. I'll set something up and get some because we have a pretty open space here, but I just find it difficult to concentrate on both things. But I will spray a little bit. We're gonna hit the yellows first because I think they're gonna be harder to cover, and then we'll hit everything. All right, let's get it done. I've got like 2 hours to do this, so gotta move. There's nothing. Ooh, that is transparent. I hope I have enough to cover. This could be a mistake. Guess we'll see. All right, coat one down, and it looks horrible. So I'm gonna get out of here. It's very fumey. If this doesn't work, it'll just shut this whole weekend down. So it's gotta work. The coverage is okay, I think. It's just I'm used to doing primer cars, like that car being one color that you're covering. This, we will definitely know if we get full coverage. That's the question. Can we get full coverage? I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to step out. Okay. Hopefully you could hear all that, but I don't know if I'll get full coverage. I haven't done a car like this in a long time, like where I didn't prime the whole thing beforehand to get it all uniform or sealer or whatever. So that is a very light coat of base coat. My hope is that all the different paints and fillers and things won't react with the paint below. When you lay it on thin, at least this is my understanding and my theory, when you do a real thin first kind of base coat, it sort of like ties everything together and allows it to bind without getting too much in the means of like fish eyes and oil spots and things like that. Now I did clean the car pretty well. It didn't look like anything was trying to react, but we'll know in about 5 minutes. So I'm gonna let that flash off, let it go completely dry. I'm using a medium speed reducer, so it should be, and it's about 70, so it should be perfect. So I'll let that flash off out here, let the fumes chill out, go back in, we'll do another coat. Based on that coat, I think it's gonna take 4 to 5 coats of color. That's my guess. I think I have it plenty in order to do that. Since it's a convertible, I'm not painting as much, and it's a pretty small car, so. Wish me, like, this is not fake TV drama. This is like, I have a big show that I've been planning months to go to. This is poor preparation on my part, but also just tons of life happening around me. And I've got to be there in 2 days. No, it's a Wednesday. I got to be there Friday, yeah. So I got to be there in 2 days, which means this thing has to be done tomorrow. And then after that, I've got a autocross event on Saturday that I really need to be at as well, and I really need to race this car at. This has to go well. So the pressure's fun, but it's also stressful and anxiety inducing. All right, that's all I'm gonna say. Let's see if this works. All right, back in the shop, it's flashed off now and it's looking pretty good. We don't have any sort of abnormalities, any reactions, which is surprising. And I think it's gonna be okay. So I'm gonna do one more coat just for that, for abnormalities. Real light second coat, not going cover. We're just gonna try to make sure paint is everywhere and it bonds and does all the weird chemical-y things that paint's supposed to do. So we'll do one more coat, get that there, and then we'll start shooting for coverage and pray that this thing just covers out beautifully. I have my reservations. Let's do it. All right, second coat is on. I realize now that my compressor wasn't even on for the whole first coat, which is encouraging because I was afraid that compressor, it's only a 30 gallon. I was afraid it was gonna be too small. Sorry about the wind. I'm trying to block it. I think that'll do it. But it wasn't. It's doing really well. So that's really good news. But let's see. Next is going to be coat 3 and probably 4. I've used, between these 3 coats, I think it'll take me about 48 ounces, which is good. So we've got plenty of paint to keep going. This next one though is going to use a lot more paint. I'm going to start laying it on fairly thick. Now that we have a good base coat, I should be able to lay it on thicker and it adhere and cure and do all the things it's supposed to do, which will mean better coverage. It is getting darker. The black is going closer to dark green, the silver is going closer to dark green, and the yellow is also going closer to dark green. So once all those colors kind of meld into one and they all look the same, we'll know we have full coverage. So the benefit of that is I'll know that the car is the same color all the way around. There's no transparency. The downside is it's going to take some paint, and I'm going to have to be careful. But I think it's going to work. It's still too soon to tell, but I think it's going to work. All right, coat number 3. Here we go. Coat number 3. Oh, we're looking good. We're looking good. Sorry about the audio for my voice, but I'm not gonna take this thing off. It's pretty chemically in here, but we are looking really good. Now on camera, this may look like it's all one color, but it's not. It's darker down here and lighter up here. And I'm actually really liking this because normally I think if this was all one color, I would probably stop right here. But the problem is that's not full coverage, right? Because we're still seeing through to the primer underneath. Now, if the primer was all really uniform underneath, you wouldn't be able to tell that you're seeing through, but I can tell because it's not uniform. So that's cool, it's good. So we'll go over this one more time. I think 4 coats is gonna be it, maybe 5, we'll see. I laid the paint on a lot thicker this time, no issues. I did have some water get through over here, which on base coat is not that big of a deal, but on clear coat it would be. And yeah, it's already gone and flashed off. I'm seeing some cracks in fiberglass, some imperfections, nothing really crazy, but stuff I just didn't have time to fix this time around. So this color will be easy to match, and so I can come back and fix those things without too much fuss. So far though, very, very thrilled. It does look more blue on camera, but there is some blue in here. I'm excited to get it out in the sun. And just see what happens. All right, coat 4 coming up. All right, so I shot clear without the camera in here, mainly because clear creates a fog that sticks to everything. But also, I had my daughter today, and she was watching the phone while I was spraying, so I didn't have it, but it doesn't really matter. I can show it to you now. It looks awesome. Check this out. So obviously, it's not perfect. It will need probably wet sanding and buff just to get some of the dust particles out of it. I did get some water in the clear right there. So I'll have to fix that, but overall, I think it looks awesome, and it's a race car. Look at the built logo, that's cool. I didn't think about that. Yeah, so we've got the roof, spoiler over here. The mirrors are just gonna be black for now because I just went and set up to paint them as well. So what I'm gonna do next is the clear is still pretty soft. You can see this, I have a little indentation there from that stripe. The clear is still pretty soft, and so I'm gonna go ahead and peel all the edges back with the tape, because what can happen is once it cures, if you go to peel the tape after the clear is cured, it can peel the paint off with it. So anywhere that I've got like tape touching, I'm just gonna take it, I'm gonna start peeling that back. And not only is it fun, but it will keep this from getting ruined. Love this color. It looks so sick. I can't wait to see it in the sunlight. I'm just very, very, very stoked on this, but I also am ready to have a paint booth. I think I can get a better result. I'm at a place, I think I've said this before, but I'm at a place where a lot of the issues I have when painting is a environment thing now rather than just a skill issue. Environment like dust and poor quality air. I had a lot of water coming through the air lines. So I had to deal with that this whole time, and you know, I'm gonna get that sorted in this shop. Part of the reason I built this was to get that sorted. I don't paint a lot of cars, but I paint more than like most people, I think. You know, a few a year. So I wanna have a good place to do it. Overall though, very, very happy. Let's peel some tape. I'll just hold the phone for you so you can enjoy this with me. Now the clear it's actually pretty dry. I'll touch it right here, see? It's only been a few hours, but it's still very soft. So as we peel it, it's actually going to, this is always kind of nerve-wracking. As we peel the tape back, I'm gonna pull away from the edge, and that is gonna make the clear kind of lifts up and then lays back down. And then as it cures, it will be perfect. I got a little spot right there. I'm not crazy about that, but that's okay. That like golden silver trim looks really cool with this color. I'm not sure if it's that color from the factory or if mine's just bleached, but it does look cool. Let's not do that. That's a bad idea. God, this color is so cool. I always said if I ever order a 911, which I won't because I'm cheap, but if I ever ordered a 911, this is the color I would pick. Even though I'd never seen it, it just looks so cool in pictures. So. And this is confirming that. There's the roof. That looks so sick, dude. Oh man, I can't believe this went well. This has been such a stressful week. There we go. So now that can cure on its own. Man, I'm very happy with this. This is so awesome. So awesome. Now, one of the things I'm not stoked about is I've ripped this bumper off like 3 times. Not from hitting the ground. I mean, I have hit it on the ground a bunch, but the car broke down a couple times, and well, I got frustrated, and I winched it up on the trailer without pulling the bumper off because I was frustrated, and I ripped the bumper off. And then because of that, I've ripped it off a few more times. So we've got some pieces like hanging. I'm just gonna drift stitch it back together. I think it'll actually be kind of cool because it'll be like the sick car. It's freshly painted, but there's still stitching, holding stuff together. Race car stuff. All right. I am so relieved. I go to the show tomorrow, by the way. I don't know if I've said that yet, but yesterday I ran out of time. I'm still currently working a job full-time as well. And so I came on my lunch break to paint the car and had issues with the compressor and everything else, and I couldn't get it done. And then last night it was 50 degrees, couldn't spray clear. So today I sprayed it at about lunchtime. It's 4 now. I'm gonna give it 2 or 3 more hours to dry. While I do that, I'm going to paint these wheels. I've got to deliver a car that I just got finished with, and then I'll come back, finish painting the wheels, and we'll assemble everything and get it ready to go on the trailer in the morning. And first thing in the morning, I leave with this to Huntsville. And we'll go to Huntsville, we'll hang out there, hopefully meet some of you guys if you guys come. Hang out with the car, hang out with the AEG guys, and then drive home, and then go race it on Saturday. So very fun weekend now that this part's over with, but this has been, I've lost so much sleep over this. I did leave my wide body everything sticker on there just because I thought it would be cool for it to look kind of embossed, and this bumper is gonna have to go anyway, so who cares. All right, so assembly is going, though not as well as I'd like. The headlights and everything obviously went in fine. The mirrors are staying black because I just didn't have a way to paint them. I probably will. I think if nothing else, paint this section. I might do like this flat black and then this section green or something. Just kind of a OEM looking thing. I'm not sure, but for now, that's that. This mirror really needs to be replaced because so this looks cool. Everything looks good. I've got one taillight in. I'll put the other one in and film it because it just looks so, the green and red always just look good together in the right shade, hue, and value. But the thing that I'm having issues with, I got 2 issues I wanted to show you guys. The first is right there. Boom. See that screw, how it's not in? Yeah, it's stuck. Don't know what to do about that yet. I don't have the right size Allen. Gotta find one. It's like trying to cross thread, or it is cross threaded. I don't know how I'm gonna handle it yet, but I had to stop because I don't know and I don't wanna get frustrated and screw everything up. Door panel will go back on, that's no big deal. But here's something I forgot, is these pieces. They're silver and the car is no longer silver. They go right here under the headlights. There's no world in which we can leave them out. It looks really weird, it doesn't make sense, there's a giant gap. And I thought about painting them black to match the roof, just using spray paint, easy, quick, dirty, no big deal. But I just don't want to. It's cold out here. It's like probably 55 right now, and paint doesn't like cold. I have painted in the cold with some success. I kind of know how to do it. I have some heat guns out here, so I'm gonna heat the parts up, and I'm gonna paint these. This could be really stupid, but they're so small, if it goes badly, if I get runs or whatever, I may just roll with it for the show, but I can fix it and it just won't be that big of a deal. It's a lot less big of a deal, or less of a deal than like getting a run down the hood or something like that. God, this thing looks so rad, and it's still just like sitting up in the air. Cars always look better on the street. This thing is gonna look absolutely insane. All right, so I haven't put the front bumper on because of those pieces that are behind me. The rear bumper's on but not bolted on. I have everything kind of loosely mounted just so I could get paint up in here. The first time I painted this, I didn't do that really well and it started flaking and peeling. Look at my reflection. What's up? It's so cool. I'm so excited. It looks so good. Such a cool color. I'm definitely, when I order my brand new 911, which I'll never do, it will be in this color. And by that I mean when I buy a wrecked one and fix it, I'll paint it this color because it's just so cool. Such a cool color. All right. So these are next. They're already scuffed, so they're ready for paint, and I've already got the paint. Like, I've still got some base coat that is not dried at all yet, so that's cool. And I've got plenty of clear coat. I've got my guns here. It's like, it's never gonna be easier to paint these than right now, so I'm just gonna paint them. We'll just hope that it works, and I'm gonna get a heat gun out so I can kind of heat them before and after, and I think it's gonna work. I think it's gonna work. All right, these came out pretty good. I'm gonna clear them. It's freezing now, so I don't know how the clear is gonna go. Probably not gonna thin it out at all, and I think that'll help. Whew. All right, it's 11 o'clock. The show is in, I have to be at the show in less than 12 hours, 9:45 tomorrow morning. And there's still work to do. All right, so rear bumper has to get mounted. That's next. Rear bumper, door panel. What else was next? Wheels. Rear bumper, door panel, wheels. And then the front bumper is not gonna get mounted because I can't get it on the trailer with the front bumper on. That's how I cracked it in the first place. So not gonna mount it. I'll probably drift stitch the cracked portions, and then we should be good to go to sleep. And I'll put these on in the morning once the clear coat dries. That's the plan. All right, here we go. One thing at a time. It looks really, really sick. Looks really sick. Also, I didn't get stuck on my driveway, which last time I drove this thing up the gravel, it got stuck a few times, but I just kind of got a run and go this time. Got a little bit of scraping there. I don't know what I scraped, but that's normal for this car. This color is so rad, dude, and it looks great in the sun. I'm so excited that the coverage is good because I was worried with all the different colors underneath. It's got 5 coats of color on the hood. Everywhere else is 4. Man, this is so cool looking. Oh my goodness, this is gonna look absolutely nuts going around the track and driving down the street. But right now, we gotta get it on the trailer. So that's what I'm gonna do next. I gotta make sure I don't forget to pack the bumper. I can't get it on the trailer with the bumper on, so that'll go separate in the back of the truck. I cannot believe I got this job done. All right, let's do it. Okay, it's loaded up and ready to go. All the straps are good. Bumper is sitting in the back. Off to Huntsville. Insane. Yeah. You get a success shot here. All right, early in the morning, just pulled up at Grip. We're about to unload the car here and go have some fun. Now, I never filmed this before. Grip is an autocross event that me and some buddies have started over the past 3 years, and it's turned into something actually kind of insane. We built a full track out here with pit, with a spectator area, everything. And I do the announcing as well as some driving. And so I'm gonna try to film this part of the video as well, but if nothing else, we'll at least get some shots of the car racing, which should be sick. Let's get this thing off the trailer. For the 24 seconds.
Those cones, it's a DNF, all right? We call that the
right, that is it. The marathon week is over. Fixed the car, painted the car, found an oil leak, took it to a car show, found another one, fixed that one too, and then finished the weekend racing it. I don't want to do it again. I'm so glad it's over, but man, this was so fun. And I love this event. Grip Autocross on Facebook, go check us out. We've built this thing over 3 years and it is incredible to be here. This is the end now. We're doing fun runs. Everybody's hanging out, playing music, and just getting in some laps, getting in some seat time. You can join us. You can come here and hang out with me and race with us every single month. Go to Facebook, Grip Autocross, and check that out. Huge thanks to AEG for making this video possible. And go check them out as well. You can use the code BILT24 for a free month. You can test out the massive discount you get at O'Reilly's. You can test out the tech manuals. Look into it. It is an incredible thing, and it's just going to be getting better. They're going to SEMA in just a couple of weeks, and they're going to be getting deals with a bunch of different automotive brands. We want to put the wrenches back in your hands, and we want to make sure that you're able to work on your car without paying a fortune and losing a ton of money and getting frustrated at not being able to find wiring diagrams or torque specs or whatever it might be. I don't even know if you can hear me right now. I'm going to go hang out with my friends. I hope to see you guys here next month.
Mercedes in the fast left-hand corner. All the aerodynamics on the back of that car really keeping it stuck to the ground. As he goes into this long section, gotta tap the brakes, keep the car nice under control. As he goes to the right-hand hairpin, gotta keep the average speed all the way up. As he goes to the Chicago box, gotta get it slowed down. He's going real fast through there.